Sorry for the lengthy title. Story 1. Conscientiousness. This seems really obvious. Like, it's one of the big 5 character traits, but I never realized how important it is to me and how much my ex was lacking in it until my current girlfriend. It is an incredible feeling to have a person who not only cares about you but makes a point to show it. Someone who will offer just as much or more than you offer them and do it with joy. It is a rare and special gift to have a partner who is caring, mindful, and diligent about your needs and the relationship's well-being. Story 2. Due to circumstances of her childhood, she is and always has been, from the start, very affectionate and eager to receive affection. Once you understand that, and if you're the type for it, you're never ready to go back. Story 3. Being open to the things I like that they might not like. When you are used to your partner dismissing what you like, having someone say, "Sure, I will listen to that song," and not talk through the entire thing, even when they might not like it, really means a lot. Story 4. Finding someone who makes bad situations better, not worse. Even the small things. Example. If I was making bolognese sauce and dropped the pan on the floor, sauce going everywhere, I would be mortified. My ex would yell at me for not being careful. The guy I am seeing now would make sure I was okay and help me clean up. Story 5. Affection is important to me. In my last relationship, my partner wanted to get drunk every time we had sex. Every time. When she wanted a shot, I knew it was okay to start foreplay. And shots were foreplay. Sometimes it's okay. But when drinking is a turn-on for you, it becomes problematic. My sex life is sober and fantastic now. I enjoy passionate makeout sessions more than anything vodka, gin, whiskey, beer, or rum did for me. Story 6. I've been a war gamer for 30 years. I love Warhammer 40,000. I had to mostly give it up during my first marriage, primarily because she thought it was dumb, a waste of money and time, and an excuse for me to get away from her rather than spending time together. My new wife saw I was passionate about it and wanted to learn more about it. She's been a canvas painter all her life, so when I wanted to return to painting my little army men, she'd set up her canvas in the same room and we could talk or just listen to music while we both painted. Eventually, she wanted to try it. She bought a couple of starter figures and tried them out. Then she came to the store, started watching me play, and began reading the stories in the books. She saw the novels and started reading them as well. She's now in it as deep as I am, even though she's never enjoyed competitive games. She's building an army, and as she's learning the tactics and tricks in the game, she's really enjoying the whole experience. Having my wife play with me makes the game even more fun. We can be silly about the whole thing and often end up giggling when we start role-playing the characters, especially in hopeless situations. I missed Warhammer and wargaming so much, I never realized it. Being able to do it with my partner instead of finding something else she'd tolerate has made me so much happier. Story 7. That it's important to talk about expectations as soon as possible in a relationship, and that it's important to find a partner who is as mature as you are about important things. Story 8. Silliness is key to my relationships. I like to make silly voices, silly jokes, silly observations, all in the pursuit of levity. My new girlfriend of about 6 months takes it and dishes it right back. These exchanges only ever end in one way, with both of us cracking up. Life can be so damn serious. Let's lighten it up a bit. Edit. A word. Story 9. Finding someone who makes you feel happy and content doing things that would otherwise be considered a chore. I dated my ex for 3 years, and I never thought I would be excited at the idea of going to the laundromat until I met her. We always found a way to turn an otherwise boring or dull moment into a lasting memory. We broke up just over a month ago because she wasn't ready for serious commitment and wanted to live her early 20s before settling down with someone. But if I miss anything about her, it's that. I am happy and doing fine on my own, but I can honestly say I've never been happier than in those 3 years I got to spend with her. When I'm ready to date again, I fear that finding someone I'm that compatible with again won't be easy. Story 10. Feeling legitimately able to be vulnerable. That was eye-opening. I got to put my head on her chest and just cry. No particular reason. Just cry. It was life-changing, man. I'll never settle for less than that now. Story 11. not having to explain every little thing that goes through my mind and, in turn, where my mind is heading. Over the years, my wife has learned to read me inside and out. She knows where I'm coming from and where my thought process is going when discussing a topic or some instance in our day. It's hard to explain, but I didn't realize how much I cherish this aspect of our relationship. Story 12. One thing I've realized is that it's one thing to be able to be yourself in a relationship and have it accepted. It's another to be yourself in a relationship and have it celebrated. I've been adamant the last 2 years about being truly myself with people and communicating that. I'm very goofy to an annoying point. I learned that, yes, some people can take that and almost compromise for it, but let me know when it's getting to be too much. However, I have had the experience with someone I've known for a very long time who understands it and actually loves it. Be yourself, but that doesn't mean being yourself is going to be right for the person you're with. Story 13. Believe it or not, and this is just me personally, but being okay with public affection. And no, I'm not really talking about making out, long, deep kissing. What I mean is, if I feel like it, we can just be walking in the city by the harbor, and I'll just pick her up off her feet, swing her around, and tell her I love her like in a movie. It's so corny, and I bet bystanders are snickering, but she and I both could not care less if we tried. We are too locked in each other. We do something like that every time we are out, and I love it. Story 14. It's not me. Sometimes my girlfriend will feel bad or be depressed and stressed, and it's got nothing to do with me or the relationship. And that's fine, and I don't need to ask, pry, or wonder. I can just be there for her while she figures it out and, conversely, take care of my own issues, and it's all fine. This was pretty big, and I'm still learning it as I go. Story 15. My significant other doesn't pester me when I am out. She lets me have my fun with my friends, and all she wants to know is that I get home safe. It's the same for me with her. It's all about trust. With past relationships, trust was never there, and it's a bad vibe. Story 16. Someone who forces me to relax. I'm a workaholic because I'm also a non-trust-funded son of a blue-collar 1970s-era farming and construction family. I'm willing to try and achieve more because she insists on me taking a break. It's a slow process that doesn't make sense to me, but everything has always worked out along the way so far. Story 17. That I should never have stopped wanting the things I did in life. I made my life revolve around my spouse. After nearly 15 years of marriage, I should have stopped that nonsense after the first month. Story 18. Finding someone who is genuinely supportive is crucial. There's a huge difference between someone who says they support you and when you actually need them, they show their true colors. Sometimes they make it seem like they have your best interest at heart by telling you not to follow your dreams. But please don't mistake that for caring. I knew my past relationship was toxic, but I never understood the importance of having someone who supports and truly believes in me until my current relationship. I wish I had realized that before I spent 4 years of my life with someone who made me feel like I always had to prioritize their happiness over mine. Story 19. My most recent relationship was 6 years ago. I learned that you probably should not become a couple on your second date just because you want an official title. Story 20. Proper communication. I sometimes still catch myself not wanting to mention something that bothers me or getting overly defensive. Then I realize that there is absolutely no reason to be defensive anymore, and there is no one going totally ballistic on me for the tiniest things. Story 21. I was rapping and singing and being stupid in the car to my ex, and he goes, "All white girls have one annoying thing, and this is yours." And I said, "One day I'm gonna find someone who finds it endearing and cute." That day hasn't come, but still, haha. Story 22. Allowing me to talk about my interests sounds simple enough, but until my current relationship, this was never really the case. It was kind of subtle most times, but I eventually stopped talking to my significant others in the past about my passions because, honestly, they made me feel stupid for having them. Realizing this explains quite a bit. Oh well, I'm happy now, so live and learn. Story 23. I learned about not settling. There were several areas of my previous relationship that I just settled for. It's easy to convince yourself that it's okay if your partner doesn't have the same sex drive or listen to the same music or have the same hobbies. I know we don't always end up with someone who is completely compatible, but we make excuses. Everyone who is married has a bad sex life. We don't like the same things, so we watch stuff in separate rooms. I had to get it into my head that I deserved more. Story 24. She likes her alone time just as much as I like mine. Honey, I'm getting my nails done. Why don't you go golf? She nags me to go to the doctor when I need it. Babe, you've been complaining about your foot for a week. Why not go to the doctor? Both are such strange feelings to me. My ex didn't care enough, I guess. But it's nice and comforting that my future wife understands me, even if she bosses me around. Her words, not mine. Story 25. Bodily autonomy. My last partner cared a lot about what I did with my body. He did not want me to get more tattoos and had very firm opinions on what type of body hair and how much I had at any one time. My new partner does not care about what I do with my body, and it is so refreshing. I would do it again. Story 26. Respect yourself. For the longest time, I wondered why my ex did not show me the same love I showed her. And I just kept hanging on with hope that things would get better. That hurt me more than I ever thought because I was always asking myself if I was good enough. What I mean by respect yourself is that I should have had the self-respect to do something about it, but instead, I let things get worse and we eventually broke up. If your relationship is bringing you unhappiness, end it. The whole point of a relationship is to make you happy. Story 27. A lot of physical contact. Didn't know I would want that much, but constantly having an arm around me or a couple of fingers playing with my hair has changed me. Story 28. You don't have to prove you are right to move on from an argument. You really can just let it go. As long as the problem will not continue and you both agree on that, it does not matter who was right. It is not you versus them, it is you both versus the problem. Story 29. Not sweating the small stuff. He doesn't get mad at the small stupid things. Ever. Like, I leave jar lids unscrewed all the time and he will just fix it and not complain. It is amazing. My ex would get mad over little infractions and then keep tally and use it against me later. Plus, he and I both have the same dark humor, so it helps saying terrible, terrible things and he knows I'm not serious. I'm being sarcastic or making a joke. It is awesome. Story 30. Someone who doesn't want to become one with you but two separate individuals who really love each other. Also, someone who doesn't pretend to be something else or bring up the past in every argument. Story 31. When your partner cannot or will not communicate, all that is left is to guess or do nothing. Spoiler alert. Neither of those options work. Story 32. Finding a partner that loves watching you do what you love. I just love messing with cars. I have all these plans for my car and I'm getting them done slowly. She loves when I get all excited that I get to do something new to it. I'm like a kid in a candy store, and she's just as ecstatic as I am, even if it's just a decal. Sometimes she will get on my phone, look at my list on my notes or my browser saves, and surprise me. I just love her. I've also got a hobby of collecting Hot Wheels. They all hang up on the walls of our guest bedroom. Sometimes, while I'm at work, she will sneak in there and check my sets, trying to remember which ones I'm really wanting to complete. If she sees a number jump, she will find it and order the best-looking one. Guys, find someone who supports you in every way. It's just part of the keys to happiness. Story 33. If you are not head over heels for your partner, something is wrong. My last relationship was terrible. I keep a journal and it's too frequent that I complained about my ex, questioned if I should be in that relationship, or noted an argument we had. My current relationship is miles better and I can't ask for anyone better. Neither she nor I are perfect, but I know she loves me, and I can say I love her. There's nothing I want more than being around her. We can do anything, go places or stay at home, and I'm equally content. My mom once described what my girlfriend looks like when she looks at me and said it's basically a cartoon with hearts floating above her head. I may be a bit more stoic and less likely to audibly sigh in affection, but I know that I feel the exact same way, and sometimes it is good just to release the tensions of the world when I have her around and decompress. Story 34. Feeling safe and validated. I can be an abrasive person, have a dark sense of humor, and be the one who tells someone to stand up for themselves while I also cower when I need to bring my courage. But when I'm with him, I'm not afraid to be myself. When I do something wrong, he looks at it objectively and tells me so, but he doesn't change how he treats me, nor does he alienate me for it. He believes in me even when my past traumas overwhelm me. He shares what he can afford, yet keeps some healthy time to himself. He gives plenty of space while still making me feel like he's always there to run into his arms. I don't worry if he'll approve of my quirks because I've had enough of life's rejections, and he doesn't care either. He's not afraid of losing his strength to my strong attributes. I guess that doesn't quite summarize the feeling, but I've had partners who lacked each of these qualities, and it always felt lonely with them because I thought there was something wrong with me or my perception of happiness. The key is to not search for it. Sharing small moments with someone who accepts your faults objectively is important. Obviously, you should avoid partners with harmful behaviors. You should never feel like you're walking on eggshells around your partner, except when you've truly done something that would upset them. It's great reading these comments.